Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of Complete Python, specifically designed for data science and artificial intelligence. In this session, we will discuss about the tuple inbuilt function. There are many inbuilt functions available with us, which we can apply on the tuple and perform some specific task. For example, we can find out the minimum element in the tuple, we can find out the maximum element in the tuple, we can count how many times a number is repeating inside the tuple. So let's see various inbuilt function over the tuple. Let's go to the Jupyter notebook and apply all these functions over there. Fine, okay, let me make the heading over here. Let me create a tuple over here on which we can perform these inbuilt functions. Fine, okay. So let's start with the first inbuilt function, that is index. Index function we can use to find the index of any element. Okay, let me apply over that. So simply let me print the index of any element in our tuple. Tuple name is capital Tuple, tuple dot. After that I will write the index function. I will pass a value over here whose index I want to know. I want to find out, let's suppose, the index of 4. So this 4. So if I will execute it, this will return me the index of this element, and the index of this element is 3. So because indexing start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Index of 4 is 3. This should print 3. Yeah, it's printing 3. Another function which we can apply is the count function. So count function is used for counting how many times an element is repeating in our tuple. So let me apply it over here. Let write the tuple name dot count function and pass the value which you want to check how many times that is repeating. So let's suppose we want to check how many times 10 is repeating. So here 10 is repeating 3 times. So this function should return 3. So let me execute it. Yes, this is returning 3. So count function is counting how many times our element is repeating. Another function we can apply is the length function. Length function is used for counting the length of the tuple. So let me print the length of the tuple. Simply what we need to do, simply write length of the tuple. I need to pass the tuple in this and let me execute. The tuple length is 12. Total number of elements here is actually 12. Yes. Another function, okay, we can apply is the sum function, which sum all the elements of the tuple. Okay, let me make the heading sum and let me print the sum of all the elements. So simply write sum and as a parameter pass the tuple. Done. So if I will execute it, the sum of all these elements, if you will sum all of them, then sum you will find out is 75. Next function, okay, we can apply is the max function, which is used for finding the maximum element inside this tuple. Maximum element is 10 over here. So that should return 10. Okay, fine. Max. So let me print the max element, max of this tuple. Done. So you can see over here maximum element is 10 over here. Similarly, we can find out the minimum element with min function. Min. Let me print the minimum element by using min function in our tuple. Done. The minimum element is 1. You can see over here in this tuple minimum element is 1 only. Okay, let's apply another function over here, sorted function. Sorted function can be used to sort the elements of the tuple. Although tuple is immutable, you cannot sort the element in place. So what sorted function is doing is that taking the element of the tuple inside a list and then sorting it. Okay, let me show you over here. Simply to sort the element, write sorted and pass the tuple inside it. So this will sort the elements and this will return a sorted list. So let me receive the element into a list. So simply sorted function is taking the tuple elements internally, that is storing it into a list and then sorting it and then returning a sorted list. Fine, okay, you can convert this list back to the tuple. We can convert this list back to the tuple by using tuple constructor function. We know this thing. And let me print this tuple now to see that okay, if the elements are sorted or not. Let me execute it. Yes, the elements are sorted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. Okay, another similar type of function is the reversed function. Reverse function is used for reversing the tuple elements. Just like the sorted function, reversed function also use the auxiliary space that do not perform the operation in place inside the tuple, okay, that take the element of the tuple inside a list, then perform the operation. So okay, let me show you how we can perform the reversed function. Simply write the reversed and pass the tuple inside it. This will reverse the element of the tuple. This will return a iterator. What is a iterator? Iterator is just like a pointer which is pointing to the list of elements. Here list of element is the reversed list we generated from this reversed function. So this reversed list is pointed by this iterator. It's okay, we can convert this iterator back to the tuple. Let me convert it. We can again use the tuple constructor function, pass the iterator inside it, and this will convert, that's it. And if I print the tuple now, you can see over here the list is reversed. The list is reversed over here. Fine, okay, these are the main inbuilt function related to the tuple. Let me okay add one more thing over here. Let's see the time complexity of all these functions. So what is the time complexity for reverse function? This will take actually order of n time. How much sorted function will take to execute? This is again using team sort. So this will take n log n time, because this is using sort team sort internally, just like sort function. This is also using team sort. Fine, let's move upside. Okay, this min function is taking order of n time to execute. Max function also take order of n time to execute. And sum function also take order of n time to execute. What about len function? Len function actually use the, it take constant time, that take constant time to execute. Count function takes the order of n time. Index function also take the order of n time. Fine, okay, this is the time complexity of all these functions. Let's move back to our PPT now. Oh, that's it for this session. Stay tuned. Meet you in the next session.